Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be taking a look at using the spread operator in ES6. Now the spread operator has sort of a sibling which is called the rest operator, but I'm going to take a look at that in a follow-up video because I think they can be a little bit confusing when seen back to back. So we're just going to focus on the spread operator here. And this one is super useful. Personally, I use this all the time. The main places where the spread operator is used is in function calls, in arrays, and in objects. So this first example is going to work with arrays. We're going to make our first array, girl group 1, and we're going to set that to equal ginger, sporty, and scary. And then we're also going to have a second girl group. We're going to have girl group 2. And that array is going to have baby, and it's going to have posh. Now, these two girl groups, although cool on their own, I think would be much better combined or concatenated together. So let's look at how we can do that with the spread operator. Let's make a new constant and we'll call it Spice Girls. We'll set it to equal an array. And here's where we can use the spread operator to concatenate both of these girl groups. We can say ... girl group 1 and then ... girl group 2. And that's all we have to do to make a new array containing the members of each of these girl groups. Let's go ahead and log out Spice Girls to the console. We'll save it, and we'll take a look at it here in the terminal. And here we can see the new array with the members from girl group 1 and girl group 2. So what the spread operator does, the spread operator being these three dots, is it expands out the elements from each of these arrays. So just for the sake of clarity, what if we remove the spread operator here and here? Now let's go ahead and console.log spicegirls and see what we get. So here we can see the difference. In the first one, we use the spread operator, so we can see that each of the individual elements from each array were spread out into this new array. In the second example, we eliminated the spread operator, and what we got was an outer array containing two inner arrays, being this array and this array. So in that case, each of these arrays were simply put into this outer array, giving us that outer array containing two inner arrays. Now, prior to the spread operator, another way that we could have concatenated both of these arrays would have been to use the concat method. So I'll go ahead and show that just for contrast. So in that case, we could make a constant. We could call it Spice Girls, and set that to equal girl group 1 dot concat, and then we would pass in girl group 2, being the array that we wanted concatenated onto the first array. We'll save that and we'll log that to the console. And we run it and we see that we get exactly the same result that we got when we used the spread operator. So the result is the same, but the syntax is different. Here we're using the spread operator, and here we're using the concat method. So perhaps the spread operator is a little bit more readable. But apart from readability, there's also a few other reasons why the spread operator is really useful when doing concatenation. So I'll get rid of the concat method so we can just focus on the spread operator for now. Let's say one day another singer showed up that wanted to join the Spice Girls. And so we'll make a constant and we'll call it new singer. And we'll say her name is Happy. So how can we add Happy to the Spice Girls? Well, since we're using the spread operator, this becomes very easy. We can simply add her anywhere in the array that we want. So for example, if we add her as the second element in the array, let's save it and see what we get. And we can see how easy that was to add her. We spread out the first three elements from girl group 1, ginger, sporty, scary. And then we added Happy, and then we spread out the singers from the second girl group, baby and posh. So this would be more difficult to do had we used the concat method as we saw previously. All right, let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Let's get rid of these console.logs. We'll get rid of the new singer. And now I wanted to point out something, and that is that when we are using the spread operator, it needs to live inside of what I think of as a container. So you can see that here we're spreading these arrays out into this array. So we're spreading them out into something that can hold individual elements. In other words, I couldn't just say const spice girls equals ... girl group 1, for example, if I tried to log that out, we see that we get an error, unexpected token. But if we contain this in an array, and then we run it, it works perfectly. So at this point, let's take a look at what MDN has to say about the spread syntax. So the description on the MDN web doc says the spread syntax allows an iterable, such as an array, expression, or string. Okay, so here we were working with an array, which is an iterable. So allows an iterable to be expanded in places where 0 or more arguments for function calls or elements for array literals are expected, or an object expression to be expanded in places where 0 or more key value pairs for object literals are expected. So this is what I was talking about when I was describing this as being kind of like a container. This array literal here is what expects or holds the individual elements. Now let's take a look at another one of the reasons why the spread syntax is so useful. Let's get rid of all this and we'll just save girl group 1. In this example, what we want to do is we want to make a copy of girl group 1. So using the spread operator, this is super simple. Let's make a constant and we'll call it girl group 1 copy. We'll set it to equal an array, and in this array, we'll spread out girl group 1. Now let's log out girl group 1 copy to the console. So here's girl group 1 copy, containing all of the members from girl group 1. Let's look at this a little bit more closely for a second. Let's comment out these lines. And let's say instead of using that spread operator as we did something like this. We said girl group 1 copy simply equaled girl group 1. Well, in this case, we might think that we're actually making a copy of girl group 1. But what's really going on here is girl group 1 copy is referencing the same array in memory as girl group 1. So let's prove this. Let's say we take girl group 1 copy and we push into it another singer. We'll push Posh into girl group 1 copy. So we might think that we're only affecting girl group 1 copy here. But what's really going on is since we're pushing into girl group 1 copy, and girl group 1 copy is referencing the same array in memory as girl group 1, both girl group 1 and girl group 1 copy are now going to contain Posh.
Oh my!
So let's verify that by logging out to the console, girl group 1. And we see here that girl group 1 contains Posh. Let's log out to the console, girl group 1 copy now. And we can see that both arrays have Posh.
Wow!
So by using the spread operator, we avoided all that by first creating a new array literal and then spreading in the members of girl group 1. And this here creates a brand new array in memory, not a reference to girl group 1. Now let's take a look at using the spread operator with objects. So we'll make a constant and we'll call it spicegirls1. And instead of assigning that to an array, we'll assign it to an object literal. And in an object, we need to make some key value pairs. So our first will be lead singer. We'll assign that to a value of Ginger. And our second one will be BG, or background singer 1, and we'll assign that to baby. Okay, so there's our first object literal. Now we'll make a second one. We'll have a constant called spicegirls2. And this one will hold 2 more background singers. We'll have background singer 2, which is going to be Posh, and then background singer 3, Sporty. Let's actually add another background singer because we need Scary in there as well. Now, of course, we need both of these girl groups to come together to form the almighty Spice Girls, and that's easily done using the spread operator. Let's make a new constant called allSpice, and just as we did with the array, we'll make an object literal, and we'll spread out spicegirls1, and then we'll spread out spicegirls2, and let's log it to the console. And there we go, one object containing the elements from spicegirls1 and spicegirls2 right here. And again, here's kind of that container I was talking about, this object literal. And we need that in order to spread out the elements from these object literals. And now we'll take a look at another place where we can use the spread operator, and that is in function calls. So let's make a constant, and we'll call it girl group 1. We'll assign that to an array. In this array, we'll have baby, ginger, and posh. And then let's define a function. We'll call it add spice. And this function is going to take in 3 different spice girls: spice 1, spice 2, and spice 3. All we want to do with this function is we want to return a new string, adding an exclamation mark onto the end of each of the names of the spice girls. So we're going to use some ES6 template literals to achieve this. So for each of the arguments that are passed in, we're simply going to add an exclamation mark to them and essentially concatenate them all together into this new string and return it. So here's where the use of the spread syntax comes in. It comes in when we actually call the function. So we're going to call add spice. And in here, we could pass in separately each of these elements from this array. We could pass in baby, and then ginger, and then posh like that, and that would work. But a much easier way to do it would be to simply spread out the elements from girl group 1 into this function call. Now let's log this to the console and see the result. And here you can see we get that concatenated string with the exclamation marks. So what this did is it took the elements from this array and expanded them out here as arguments into this function call. So notice here we're using the spread operator when we're calling the function, as opposed to using it here when we're defining the function. And that's something that we'll look at more in the next video when we talk about the rest operator. And just for clarity's sake, what if we remove the spread operator here and we just passed in girl group 1? What do you think we'd get in the console? Well, let's try it out. So what you can see here is we've got baby ginger posh with an exclamation mark at the end of that, and then undefined and undefined. And that's because we're only passing in one thing to this function call, this array. Since we don't have any arguments for these 2 parameters, spice 2 and spice 3, we're getting undefined for those. So thanks for checking out this video on the spread operator in ES6. Stay tuned for the next video on the rest operator because it's very much related to the spread operator. If you liked the video and you feel like you got something out of it, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel so I can bring you more. See you next time.